What's good? It's your man, Mr. I Does It All, and I'm back with another one. This one probably gonna be short, you know what I mean? This is about the Karmelo Anthony case. I see a lot of evil and hateful people that just, you know what I mean? They have so much malice in their heart. If they could, they would just go out on a rampage, stringing up black people, you know what I mean, left and right. But they know that that would cause some uproar. So they're not gonna go do that. But they want to. Trust and believe. And there's some black people out there that I just can't get behind either. And people keep saying it's a race thing, it's always about race. Let's put that out there. It's always about race. But it's not so much about race as it is the right thing to do. Right? It doesn't matter if it was a white boy who did the stabbing or a black boy who did the stabbing. When you put in all the facts of the case or the ones that we know of. But I guess it's the fact that there's so many people rallying behind this young black man that's ticking everybody off. Why are you so mad that black people stand behind this? If we didn't stand behind our own, like they say, it's a poor frog who won't praise his own pond. If we didn't stand behind this young black man, and we left it up to the other races to, decide this man's fate, he would have been, deemed the most terriblest person in the world a long time ago. Now, let's just get down to some of the things that we do know. You know that it was raining, right? There were tents out. There have been several people that come forward that says that when it's raining outside, or even if it's not raining outside, different teams sit under different tents. Okay, it's just what happens. You got these people who want to make it seem like it's black and white, and I mean this in the figurative sense, that it's black and white as far as, this tent says Alabama, this tent says Auburn, so nobody from Auburn can sit under this tent. That's stupid. Okay, that might be the rules, but you're also not supposed to have your phone out at work. But you do. You know what I'm saying? Cops supposed to follow the same laws that we do, yet they're riding around with dark tint on. I've seen cops throwing their lights to rush to the restaurant. I was working at Church Chicken one time. We see lights flying down the road, and the cops park, and they come in and get some food. You know what I mean? So people do things that they're not supposed to do at their job all the time. They steal garbage bags. They eat food that they're not supposed to eat. You see what I'm saying? So it happens. But you want to make it seem like it's such a big deal that this young man was sitting up underneath a tent that wasn't a part of his school, and even though it was raining. And then it was also supposed to be a community event, right? So who cares? Then you have some people saying, oh, well, this young man wasn't supposed to be there. Well, he was a track runner. This guy could have been anywhere. He could have been in a trap. He could have been somewhere in the bottom, in the hood, in the ghetto. He could have been slanging dope. He could have been knocking boots with young 304s. He could have been somewhere robbing a liquor store or a jewelry store. He could have been out joyriding. He could have been out with the fellas. No, this young man was at a freaking track meet, and you trying to tell me that he's just this cold-blooded mass? Come on, man, right? So them a couple of the things. Like I said, it's raining outside in this tents. This man runs track, so he's here at a track meet. You got these two bullies, the Metcalfs, or whatever their names they are. They're the ones that approached him with ill intentions in their heart. If I'm sitting and they're saying, oh, he shouldn't have brought a weapon, who doesn't carry a pocket knife? I'm quite sure if they did some kind of poll or something of all the people who had knives in that event, either on their persons or in their vehicle, or guns in their vehicle, I bet they will find a lot more than just him. So who doesn't? It's lots of people that have pocket knives or knives. So you got these two bullies that they weren't supposed to be there, right? They don't run track. They up here trying to put belt to ass. They, you know what I'm saying? They approach this man. Hey, get out from under our tent. You're not supposed to be here. Yeah, yeah, bro. You tell them. That's what they did. They came over there with they racist intentions, right? And like they said, they want to paint the black guy to be the bad guy and his family to be a bad guy. But his mother and father are together. They're happily married. They're taking care of business, standing on all 10. This young man is doing what he was supposed to do in school. Like I said, he's at a track meet. He's not out running the streets, right? It's the Metcalfs that's over here that got all the family dysfunction, right? So I don't understand. Like I said, when it all boils down to it, race is a part of it, but when you look past race, it's just simply right and wrong. Okay, so let's keep going. So these two bullies approach this man doing all that rah-rah, and he says, look, they already put their hands on him one time, right? Hey, bro, you got to get up. Tried to hem him up, right? He's like, I guess he snatches away or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they never put their hands on him. But in any case, people keep saying, oh, you can't say stand your ground if you provoke it. Bro, this is a tactic. It's a defense mechanism. You say, touch me again and see what happens. A lot of time people be bluffing. This time he wasn't. But most of the time when you say that, you'll have two type of people. You'll have the bully that says, what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. Right, bro? He's not going to do nothing. Come here. Right? And then you have the person that's the smart guy. He says, you know what? You got it. You got it. Especially in this day and age. It's dangerous to go out here putting your hands on people. So this man got this knife for whatever protection. You don't know what else that went on in his life. You don't know what he's seen. You don't know if he's seen a friend get harmed or he's heard stories of people getting harmed and he's in a area where people get harmed or whatever the case may be. But he had his weapon on him and he warned him. That was a warning, right? If someone comes on your property and you pow, that was a warning shot, fella. The next one's gonna meet its target, right? That's what he did. He gave him a warning. He said, put your hands on me and see what happens. That was the Metcalf's boy opportunity to say, hey, bro, you know what, you got it. It's not even that serious. You're sitting underneath a tent while it's raining out. It's not even that serious. I'm just going to walk away. But no, that's not what he did. He tried to call this man's bluff, and he got stabbed. You got two big cornbread-fed white boys standing over you. You know what I'm saying? All bronze and whatnot. And it's just you by yourself, and you know you don't have nobody to help defend you. You standing on these bleachers. You can really get hurt on the bleachers. Now, we got these two young men that got caught up in them, that was found in the mountains dead. And then nobody's, and the list goes on. That when a black guy dies, it's always their fault. He should have been, Zimmerman did the right thing. That young man should have been respectful. This man was walking away with headphones in his ear. Kyle Rittenhouse, oh, he was just protecting his country. Right? What you mean? This man drove states over with this assault rifle or whatever he had. I don't know much about guns. But he had this gun. I know it was some kind of rifle. And he ended up killing two people and wounding one. Walked right past the cops, head held high, because he knew they... Now, let that have been a young black man walking through the cops with that gun. They would, hey, put your hands on your head, get down, drop the weapon, step back, step forward, step to the left, shut your mouth, put your hands above your... Pow, 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 pow. And they would have been justified for it, right? Because he was a threat, because he was walking around with this gun. See the double standard? And then people wonder why all the way to slavery. They say, oh, you weren't part of slavery. Look, we still going through it. It doesn't matter if black people sold off slaves. That doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but not so much as your oppressors still being over you. They just switched up the slavery game. Now you're not out there picking cotton. You're working 8 to 5 or 9 or 10 to 10 or 6 to 10 or 6 to 6. You're out there working 8s and 12s and 14s and 16s and 24s and 48s. Ambulance drivers. You out here doing this, making this money for them. They're getting richer and richer, and you're getting poorer and poorer. And now they're out here trying to get these AI up and running so they can take over for the humans, and you're going to be obsolete. So, but like I was saying, this is about the slaves. Like I said, we're still under the thumb of the boot of our oppressors, right? We're still under the boot of our oppressors. And so that's why we rallying behind this young black man. Now, we don't know all the facts, but innocent until proven guilty. And the things that we do know as of now, he sounds innocent. He's sitting there minding his own business at a track meet underneath the tent while it's raining, and two guys. Let's take race out of it. You got a young man sitting here under a tent while it's raining. Two guys approach him. They put their hands. One of them put his hands on him. He warns you, says, "Hey man, don't touch me. Hey, touch me again. We'll see what happens." And they touch him again, and boom. So how was that not stand your ground? If you're in a house and there's an intruder downstairs, and you let it be known that you know that they're there, you say, "Hey, I have a gun, and I'm not afraid to use it. You need to just stop what you're doing and leave now." And that intruder thinks that you're bluffing. So they start running up them steps after you. And you let it off right in his chest. How was that not stand your ground when you even warned him? So some of you, the people that keep saying that that's not stand your ground, shut up. You sound stupid. So yeah, man, that's why we rallying behind this black man, this young black man who was out here just living his life, you know what I'm saying, trying to see some track and field action happening. And these two bullies came up and they, tried to rough him up a little bit. And, they called his bluff and he acted on it. So I don't understand it, man. And like I said, with the race part in it, that's why we're doing it. Because we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're sick and tired of these white people. Yeah, black people do it. But let me tell you something. It's like you can sit there and talk trash about your father or your mother or your sibling, but as soon as somebody else do it, you ready to fight. So that's the same thing in the black community. Because in that household, what's going on? You're in this household, this 3 to 4, maybe 5 bedroom home, 2.5 bathrooms, 1.5 bathroom, whatever. It's not like you're living in a mansion with wings and stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? You're just living in an average home, even if it's a nice sized home. And sometimes when you're living around amongst people like this so much, temperatures start to flare. You know what I mean? And fathers get into it with sons, and mothers get into it with daughters, and on and on and on and on. So in a community where it's like I said, this slavery is still, there's still the after effects of this. If somebody smokes a joint and then they put the joint out, they say, "I'm done with it," they're still going to be high. So the joint was slavery, and they smoked it. And I'm talking about it was some good stuff. So now the aftermath is the high. You know what I'm saying? And when you putting all these black people and poor people and they're forced. You know what I mean? And they know what they did. With all the, you know, not allowing them to get loans and coming in and burning whole towns down. Like, stop acting like you don't know that this went on. And if you don't know that this went on, you living under a rock. They burnt down whole communities. As soon as black people got something, they say, why don't you pull yourself? They tried. They had their own bus stations, their own cab companies, their own banks, their own this and that. The white people didn't like that. They said, oh no, we can't let y'all have this. And it looked like y'all doing a little bit better than us too. Oh, we got to bring that down. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And then they come around and say, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We know what the Democratic and the Republican was about. The Republic was about, was for black people or for people in general to just be able to take care of themselves. And then the Democrats said, no, let us do it. Let us help. Let us make them dependent upon us. What they say a long time ago, that they said that whoever said it, that that the Democrats was gonna have them depending on them for X amount of years, whatever, however it went. I don't remember. And I don't got nothing around me to do no research right now. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're living under a rock. So these are the conditions that we live in and that people live in. So they've been forced to live in these slums and these projects and these apartment housings and these on this Section 8 getting welfare and all of this, because if you locking all the fathers up, you the one who put the crack in the streets. It's a whole movie about that, and it's been documented that they did it. You did this. You put this stuff out here and people got hooked on it and so on and so forth. Well, I didn't put it to your mouth and smoke it. Might as well had, man. Because everybody was smoking. And the white people, everybody was smoking. It is just, they would target the black people. And like I said, they locking them up for selling it and smoking it and using it and whatnot. And they being gone and there's no fathers in the home. And even when it comes to it, they say, oh, well, listen, look, man, we'll put you up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We'll take care of you, give you some food and some water and a place to stay and lay your head and some what I'm trying to think of, something and some vouchers and stuff to get some clothes and shoes for your babies. You know, here's a few thrift stores that you can go, you know what I'm saying? But you can't have no man over there with you. You can't have no man laid up over there with you now. He don't get no help. We give you all help. So then you have children being raised by their single mothers with this emotional mentality, and they grow up emotional. And they don't have that logical father in the household. And things go bad, and it's living proof of that now. So, and like I said, I don't care what none of you say, whoever try to combat this, the facts are the facts. Yes, people out there who actually make it through and they pull themselves up out of it. But when it comes to the masses, you know, the damage has been done. And, you know, like I said, they're living in them slums. They're living on top of each other, beside each other like rats and roaches. Tempers flare in that community. You see this one doing better than you. You know what I mean? And before you know it, you got guns involved, and you got shootings involved, and killings and retaliations and rapes and murders, and all this is going on in that jungle. Whether it's the concrete, or you in the South, or you in Hawaii, China, wherever, it's a ghetto everywhere. Go look it up. YouTube got a documentary on Hawaii having a daggone slums as well, ghetto as well. You know what I'm saying? Where they over there thugged out, just, you know what I'm saying? But they don't talk about it because I guess that'll bring down morale for their little, you know, tourist attractions and whatnot. But what I'm saying is, that's why we rallying behind this young black man, because for time after time after time after time, there has been beatings and killings and lynchings and hangings and maulings and all this of black men or black women by the hands of white men. We're not talking about the Africans who originally sold us, because they sold us and we was gone. We came over here to live under the hand of our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? The people who bought us, that sold you and raped you, and I don't know if I can say that R word, but I said it. You know what I'm saying? So this probably won't get no play, but you know what I mean? That's why we rally behind him. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, you got people out here that's ready to execute him right now. So I just wanted to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, even the news has died down about it. You know, usually it does when it's you know, let's just say it. If they say it's about race, when it's a white person that killed a black person, they're gonna sugarcoat that white person's life, and they're gonna even still try to victim blame the you know, the victim. Oh, they was this, they was that, and whoop. Just like when it came down to, you know, we won't get into that. You know, there's too many stories out there for it. But that's why we rally, and I know I keep saying it, but that's why we rally behind him, and we're going to continue to rally behind him until more evidence comes out and it says that he was completely 100% in the wrong. Even if he's convicted, which I pray that he's not, and the evidence remains what it is now, we're still going to rally behind him because we're going to know it's wrong. You know what I mean? Because like I said, based off of what we have seen and heard and know as of yet, you had a young man sitting up underneath the tent minding his own business, watching the track meet, or the track meet was going to be over because it was raining or whatever, and these two bullies came along and they antagonized him and attacked him, and he warned me, he said, hey, touch me again and see what happens. Like I said, a smart person was like, hey bro, you got it. I don't know what you got in there. You know what I'm saying? You can have anything. It ain't that serious. But no, they chose to advance and make advances and put their hands on them, and they got stabbed. You can't dictate to how somebody retaliate to you, no matter how extreme you may think it is. If I go up to a young lady and I squeeze her cheek like yam, you know what I'm saying? If she turns around and stabs me in my throat, hey, I can't dictate to how she reacted to me putting my hands on her. You know what I'm saying? A simple shove might have done, a slap, a punch, a kick to the groin, a cussing out, you know what I'm saying? But no, she chose, I don't know what that girl has done been through in her life that made her take it to that extreme. And I didn't know it before I did what I did. But guess what? I shouldn't have did what I did in the first place. I shouldn't have walked up to her and put my hands on this young lady. Because again, I can't dictate to how she responds. So anyway, I just wanted to put that little tidbit out there, man. I really don't care how you feel unless you for me. But, you know, so put what you feel in the comment section below. And, you know, hopefully they eat you up for it. Because right is right and wrong is wrong all day long. You know what I mean? So get out your feelings, boy. And you know what I'm saying? Think logically about this thing. Look at the facts and you know what I'm saying? Go from there. Even if you want to take race out of it, stop being mad because black people are rallying behind this black man, because I think that's what a lot of people are, you know, mad about. He killed a white boy. And all you black people are rallying behind him because he's black. That's the only reason. If the tables were turned, you wouldn't care. Some people would. But you're right. Most people wouldn't care if the tables were turned. Why would they? They would have a dog in that fight. If it was, or if it was a two black bullies, thugs, came up to a young white boy. Think about that. Two black thugs. Hey, what up, boy? What you doing over here, cuz? You ain't supposed to be over here, bruh. He says, he grabs his bag and he says, and they put hands on him like, hey, boy, you going to have to leave. He says, he snatched away from him. He says, you get your darn hands off of me. Now, boy. They say, boy, who you think you talking to, cuz? And when they reach for this man, he pulls out that knife and stabs him in the heart. And he dies. They going to give that boy a medal. He's a hero. Two thugs came up to the track meet tonight. They attacked a young white man sitting in the bleachers. The young white boy was so brave. Oh my gosh. I think we should give him a medal. What do you think, Susan? Yeah, me too. I think he deserves a medal. They're going to be cooking him cupcakes and giving him cookies and put a star in Hollywood with his name on it and all type of stuff. He's going to be meeting the president, getting the key to the city, smiling and whatnot. Like kind of like Kyle, what's his name? Kyle Rittenhouse, kind of like him. Anyway, man, I'm out.